Bye.
Bye, 7. Bye.
Alright, thank you. We just spent like 20 minutes in a private screening area where they had to like double check all our bags and do all this glove type stuff. Our flight leaves in 30 minutes, so I hope we're not late. Alright, you got it? Alright, let's go. We made it on time. So we got seated in an exit row, which means we got tons of like leg space. I feel like I can dance in here. But the downside is, look, no tray. Just made a huge discovery. We have trays.
Beat me to the know that it's a cloud in my hallway. Beat me to the know that it's a cloud in my hallway. Beat me to the you had a thought you had a deal. Don't beat me to the know that it's a cloud in my hallway.
It's cold here.
How are you, Dan?
We are in Dallas, Texas. At least that's where we flew into, but we drove to Waco now. And we just had the most amazing thing happen on our trip because I did not plan on this at all. But I just found out that there is an In-N-Out burger right here, which is my favorite restaurant like of all time. So that's where we're doing lunch. Look at that. Pouring out the hot cocoa.
That is yours. Yours.
Oh, that was so good. Okay, we are in town because we are visiting my friend Rusty. I'm not gonna give any. This is Dr. Buck right here.
Oh, wait.
Look at that.
That's not the hospital I work at. You gotta, you gotta get my other, let's see here. This is, yeah, there we go.
That one?
That's my hospital.
That's your hospital, okay. Dr. Buck. Look at that beard. All right, so what exactly do you do? You're a surgeon.
Yes. So I'm an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. And ear, nose, and throat surgeons, they treat the diseases that happen for people basically anywhere above your collarbone all the way up to the top of your head that are not your eyeballs or your brain. So we don't do those things, but we see kids and adults, guys and girls, chronic disease, and things that are emergencies. Sometimes in a softball injury, softball can hit your eye. And because the eye is so important to the body, there are special systems designed in order to protect the eyeball. So rather than the eyeball going and squishing, the socket that the eye lives in is formed of super thin bone. So the eyeball squishes back so hard that it actually fractures the bone. I always tell all my patients, I say, hey, Volvo say they invented the crumple zone, but actually God invented the crumple zone in your face to protect your brain and eye. Dang. So the problem is after that, your eye can actually sink down into your sinus cavity, and then you got one eye that sits lower than the other. People can see double. So what we have to do surgically is we have to go in and lift up all the lining of the eye socket from the fractured bone and rebuild the bottom part of this eye socket so that it supports the eye and holds it up. And patients tolerate it really well.
So how many of those have you done?
This year I've probably done 4.
Is there anything you want to say to Cammy or the kids?
Hey guys, we miss you. Wish you were down here in Waco.
Dr. Rusty. Somehow I ended up at a distillery doing a whiskey tasting. I want to show you guys a little bit of this house of where I'm going to be staying this weekend. And the way that we met this family was really funny because this was about 4 years ago on our actual block where we live in Bellevue. We found out that there was a family living like 3 doors down, and one of the houses was like a vacation rental. And this family, like, they had 4 kids, and our kids were playing with their kids, and their kids had kind of funny names, and our kids had kind of funny names, and we're like, they gotta be homeschooled. Anyways, we talked to them, and we found out we had like a ton in common, and we actually became friends with them, and it turns out that they were in Cincinnati, so Rusty, the dad, could do his like medical residency training in Cincinnati. So while he was there, the wife, Kelly, and their kids, who had like nothing to do, now all of a sudden they like knew our kids and us, and we got along really well, so we started hanging out like all the time. So we actually have like maintained this friendship, and we're out here for the weekend. I want to show you guys their house though, because it's like, I don't know, I find it really inspiring. This is where I'm going to be staying for the weekend. This is like the kids' room. It's like this nautical theme. You can tell they have like the bunk bed thing going. There's like this giant octopus on the wall. Then there's like this bed up there, up those stairs, with this like closet sliding thing here. I don't know. It's just like, I heard it was like inspired by 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's their like family thing, chalkboard. We got a huge dining room table, you know I like that. Little sitting room here. Big, huge kitchen island. All sorts of like little creative like old things. Beer taps, look at that. Stumptown coffee. They got that just this weekend?
My friend literally just brought this back because he went on a business trip, and I told him, if you go to Portland, you have to go to Stumptown. And then Kelly ordered that for, I think she got it on Amazon.
Yeah. This is like a huge coffee table that used to be their dining room table that he turned into a coffee table. We got a record player playing over here, playing old Keith Green records. And then in the garage, it's like one of the craziest parts. He has like this whole like old school barber shop with these like super old barber chairs that he like rebuilt, restored, I guess. Like he did all this leather stitching. And this was a project he's been working on for 3 years. He like told me about it before. So all this like old school barber stuff. He says he's gonna give me a haircut before I leave. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite rooms. I guess it's like their homeschooling room. So they got this thing in the center and cool posters and lockers. I just feel like I'm in a Pinterest catalog with like, I don't know, but it's like a room with like a purpose that we actually totally understand and believe in too. So I realize I haven't told you guys why I'm here for the weekend. And the reason is because a number of months ago, Rusty asked if I would come for the weekend to help spark some conversations with some dads here and just talk about family and to talk about a lot of the things that we've learned and a lot of things that we've lived. So that's what I'm doing for this weekend. And I'm really excited about it because it's so crazy to just think that, wow, this story that we've lived and this thing that we've done, other people value it and can learn from it and care about the same things that we do. And I'm really excited to share, and I hope it helps people. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things that we talk about on this vlog. You know, how do we take a family and give it the same value that our culture gives to business or other organizations? And how do we even take and prioritize the weekly schedule over these like long-term life goals that we all have? And how do we prioritize and celebrate rest as kind of the primary fuel or motivator for our life instead of just like this drive to work? So that's what we're gonna be doing. Seb and I are gonna be here. So I'm gonna have a different type of rest this weekend. It's actually not gonna be very restful, and I try and avoid that. But at the same time, you know, we think that exceptions are okay, and these aren't strict rules that we follow. They're actually guidelines that are designed to help give us freedom and set us more free. So I think it's for a good cause, but I'm gonna be missing the family this week. So we will see you guys on Monday.